Hello everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today, well, for one, I'm in a way better mood than I was in my last video, but I wanted to talk about some plants I own in duplicate. I did a video like this back in May, I think. I talked about plants I loved so much that I went and bought another one, and I had way more than I thought. I thought I was just gonna have like 5 or 6, but I had enough to do probably a third video. I have so many plants in duplicate, and these are plants I actually went out and bought another one of. I didn't propagate it and create a new plant. I just loved it so much, I wanted another one. And I have 5 plants to mention in this video. So the first one that I own 2 of is the Hoya Carnosa compacta. I know this is like a big time favorite for a lot of people. Of course there are people that don't like it. There's, you know, lovers and haters of every plant. But I love this one. I'm not particularly obsessed with Hoya, like it's not my favorite plant genus, species, you know what I mean. But I do love a lot of Hoya, and this one is so cool. I remember when I saw this, it was at Home Depot, and it came in like a basket that was made of like straw or something. It was like a hanging basket and had way too much soil and this one tendril hanging from it, and I thought, I have to have that or I'm gonna die. I had never seen this plant in real life before, and I didn't buy it. I went home and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then of course my boyfriend's like, let's just go get it. So we drove back to Home Depot and I came home with it. And it's doing really well. It's just one thing hanging in the pot, but I really like the way this one looks, just being its one little tendril. But not too long after having seen that one, I started seeing them all over the place. Mainly Home Depot, mainly just a couple locations, but I still see this there on a regular basis. It's like a 4-inch pot, I guess, for like $8 or $9. Such a good deal. I bought, I think, 3 of them and put them in this pot here, and it's doing really well. It's grown a lot, I mean really slowly, because I don't have it in the highest light, although I do have it on a shelf that's under a skylight. It's on the 2nd shelf, so there are some plants kind of blocking it, but it's still doing pretty good. And I have contemplated putting this one into this pot here, but I don't know where I would do that, because although like there is some room in here, but I would just be so afraid that this plant would die or it wouldn't transplant well, and I don't want to mess with this one, you know. So I've thought about it, but I can't bring myself to do it. But look how cool that looks. I freaking love this plant so much. And as far as the care goes, I do let it dry out completely, 100% dry before I water it again, and it seems to do perfectly fine with that kind of care. A little bit of a slower grower, but I do have it in lower light, but I love it so much. I don't even care that it's a slow grower, because this plant is like a living art piece, you know? It's perfect the way that it is. And I love it so much. And every time I see one, I want another one. And although I have killed a variegated version before, they had them at my local nursery in a pot like this big, with probably a piece like this but kind of twisted up like smaller, for 20 bucks. And I thought, ugh, I want it. And I thought about it all freaking day yesterday, like I should have gone to get it, but I know it's gonna die. I know it's gonna die, so I don't want to waste just $20, you know? But speaking of variegated plants, I own 3 variegated string of pearls, and to be honest, and what's kind of cool is, well, it kind of sucks, but I bought this one at the same nursery, and I want to say it was like $25, $30, and I'm not even joking you. 2 weeks later, they started selling them for $6.99, and they're still there for $6.99. I kept thinking that it was a price, like they made a mistake on the price, but no, that's the actual price. I couldn't believe it, because I had never seen this plant before and never had seen it at a price like that. But I think that's really cool that the prices come down, because this is a really beautiful plant. This one, I do keep this one living in the window, and that window gets west facing light, and it loves it. It loves it there. It always is just growing and growing and growing, and it's a beautiful little baby. But this one here was the first one that I bought. I purchased 2 of them from Succulents Depot. I did a whole video on it because I couldn't believe the price. It arrived in great shape. I did an unboxing on it, and I repotted them in that video as well. This is 2 separate plants, and it's doing really good. So if you wanted a little update on it, it's doing well. It's kind of growing over the pot. It's a little bit of a slower grower, but if it's anything like the regular string of pearls, it's gonna kind of sit, kind of just chill in for a while, and then next year it's gonna explode. Like that one there is hanging all the way down off of the windowsill now. So I love this one so much. Such a beautiful plant. Again, I let this one get dry, 100% dry, but then I let the pearls get a little bit wrinkled. So right now they're really like thick and firm and like hard. I do let them get, maybe this one has a good example. I do let them get a little bit wrinkled, like the little dip, like a little dimple in them, and then I water it because I'm always afraid to overwater this plant, so I like to get it completely dry before watering. But love the plant, totally recommend it, and I would buy another one. Okay, the next plant I own 2 of is this. Let's show this one first. This is a Rapidophora Tetrasperma, and look how cool this one is growing. This one normally sits back here on top of this shelf, and it's just this one long vine. And I know a lot of the time people have this growing like up a wall and they kind of like trail it everywhere. This was growing up straight, but obviously it's gotten so long it started hanging down like this. I do have a stick in it to kind of hold up it kinda, but it started like growing down like this, and I think it looks so awesome. I mean, look at this. It's so cool. I do want to put this, like re-tie it to the stick so it has a little more support, but I still like it to like hang down like this because it looks just so full and cool. This one I did buy from Cactus Club, and they said this one was a non-tissue culture version, and I did have the tissue culture. No, I bought this one from Cactus Club, and this one was labeled as a non-tissue culture version, and it is stunning, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. And of course I did buy another one. This one I bought at the local nursery here, Osuna. I did take a picture of this and posted it on my community page because it was the biggest, most beautiful, most full looking tetrasperma I had ever seen. I brought it home and it quickly died. I mean, there were leaves turning black left and right, and I was just gonna throw the plant out, but I decided to keep whatever vines I could. I put them in water. Look at those roots. This plant has taken off living in this water. This vine usually leans up against the wall, so it's kind of like falling right now. But this thing exploded with growth. Like, this was not this full when I put it in the water. There are a few dead leaves here, which I'll just take off. This one I got at, oh yeah, the local nursery. And I thought it was interesting because I thought I would get this one to compare to the tissue culture and the non-tissue culture. So far, the non-tissue culture, the leaves are just a different shade of green. That's all I can tell the difference of. Watch, let me hold them up side by side. Like, this one looks lighter and brighter. This one looks like darker a little bit. That's literally the only difference I can tell, because other than that, they seem like the same plant. They're growing exactly the same at the same rate. Love this plant so much. I do want to pot it up in some soil, but I really love the way it looks growing in this jar. I love the spot that it's in. And growing a plant in water is so hassle-free because all you do is refill the water. I do rinse out or dump out the old water. I don't go out of my way to rinse off the roots or rinse out the jar. And most of the time I just refill it with water. And it's doing great. It's doing really good. I have a peace lily that I think I want to transfer into water because it would just be a lot less work. All you do is refill the water, you know? Okay, who's my next baby? Another Hoya. So this is one I've had for a long time. This is a Hoya Crinkle 8, and it is a Crinkle 8 because it has all these little crinkles and dimples in the leaves. I also have it in this cute little planter that I got at Target. It was $3. It was part of their, like, you know that section when you first go into the store that has like $1 and $5 items. I got this one a couple of years ago though, but they have stuff like this there all the time. Anyway, I keep this out year round because I think it's so cute. I think it's supposed to be a mummy. This little piece of plant here used to be a big hanging basket. A big, giant hanging basket. I don't think that I had owned a Hoya, maybe? Maybe it was my second Hoya, I don't know. Either way, I didn't have a lot of experience with Hoya at the time. I didn't know what it wanted, and more importantly, I didn't know what it didn't want. And what it didn't want was to be repotted over and over and over. I have told this story before, but I I wanted the plant to be in a certain pot, even though the pot was way too big. So I filled it up with soil and the plant just started dying. So then I was like, well, I'm just gonna repot it again. Repotted it again, and this time I filled up the bottom of the pot with rocks, so that way just the top part was with soil. The plant hated that also, kept on dying. So then, by the time it was just one vine left, I took it out, I put it in the small pot, I put the stick for stability, and I decided not to touch it anymore, like it's gonna live or die in this pot, and that's it. I'm gonna stop repotting it, and I'm gonna hopefully learn my lesson. And this little vine has done great since then. It's been probably 2 years that it's been living in here. It has never grown. It's literally never done anything, never grown whatsoever. Oh my God, I just scared the crap out of myself. I have the mirror right there because I just moved it out of the way, and as I was holding this, I could see something moving in the mirror, but it's kind of blocked by the plant. It made my heart drop just now. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. That kind of freaked me out. Anyway, what was I saying? This plant has never grown. It's never done anything, but it's living and it's doing well, and I love him. But since I've been doing so well with that one tiny vine, and I feel like I learned my lesson with the repotting issue, I felt like I could buy this big one and I would do okay with it. It's in a Costa Farms pot, but I didn't buy this from Costa Farms. I bought it locally at the nursery. Who knows? It could have come from Costa Farms. But it's labeled Hoya Crinkle, but this is the Crinkle 8. And this has grown so much. Oddly enough, I have this one in low light. I have this one in the corner of my living room on a table. It does get a lot of light in the evening and not overnight, but late through the night, because I do have a lamp on that is right on top of this plant. And I guess it gets ambient light throughout the day, but it's definitely not in a high light or even medium light area. And it still just grows like crazy. Like this whole little tendril's gotten really long, so is this. It's just busted out new growth left and right. Don't look too closely, it's very dusty. I was gonna go spray this off before the video and I forgot. Anyway, I haven't done anything with this plant since I got it. I haven't repotted it, I haven't touched it, I haven't done anything because I learned my lesson. Don't constantly repot your plants. Sometimes they're not gonna like it. Hoya especially, as far as what I have learned. Don't repot it, just let it sit there, it's gonna be fine. I love this one, it's doing really good, and I haven't touched it. Learned my lesson. Okay, I got one more I wanna show you. It's this one. This little baby back here. This is one long vine of string of arrows, and I had never seen string of arrows before. You could see. It's a string with the leaf shaped like an arrow. It looks very, very similar to string of hearts, but it looks different. Like if you have that one and you have this one, you can tell they're different plants, but as a glance, you'd probably think it was string of hearts. I had never seen this plant before. I freaked out when I saw it. I found it at the grocery store. They had this big display of succulents, and this is the one that I got. I was like, oh my God, that's a string of arrows. And I bought it, and it's doing well. It's growing and growing and growing. I want to say it was maybe this big when I got it, so it just has just continued living life. And I like to keep it back here because it adds to my little plant thing. But I did buy another one. And I also used to have this one hanging back here, but I kind of got tired of the way it looked, all tangled. Same with the string of hearts, I moved it to. And then I kind of just twirled it up on top of the pot because I like the way it looks this way a lot more. I got this one here locally as well at Osuna. Ooh, this needs water. And I loved the way that it looked in the pot that it came in because it was like not trellis, but it was like growing around the hanger, like the plastic hanger, and it looked so cool. But I did want to repot it, and I did. And it's been growing and growing and growing. It's doing really good. I like it a lot, and I kind of like it better all twisted up like this, you know? I think it looks kind of cool. My boyfriend commented on it the other day, and he's like, what happened to that plant? Why is it all tangled? And I'm like, because it looks better like that. Anyway, I also love the pot that it's in. I love this patina that it's getting. I know some people don't love the patina, some do. I think it's so beautiful. There are times when the pots I have get like a crust on them, and I'll kind of scrub it with the toothbrush and some water, like an old toothbrush. It's all fixed. Oh my goodness. It's it's gonna be fine. I think it's really, really beautiful. Obviously, every single pot is gonna be unique because no two pots are the same, no two plants are the same, the soil is gonna be different. I think it's really, really, really beautiful, and I love it in this plant. But that is it. Those are some more plants I own in duplicate. I definitely have enough to do another video, so let me know if you want to see it. I would love to know some plants you own in duplicate, plants you loved so much you had to buy another one. I would love to know what they are. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And I will see you later in another video.